We'll now demonstrate the second element exercise first. White snake in the grass is the yin movement. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Fierce tiger on the mountainside is the yang movement. In martial arts, some people don't have enough qi and need to replenish their qi by doing the yin exercise. If you have a kidney stone or an infection of the kidneys, you will get rid of the kidney stone and have faster healing of the infection if you use the yang exercise. Black bear rotates its waist is the balancing of the yin and the yang. Now let's look at the fingers. The pinky is the linking finger for the kidney. When you are doing the yin movement, be sure as you sink. Now let's practice the yin movement of the kidney. Start with the horse stance. Cross your palm in front of your face and inhale as you squat down into horse stance. Inhale, exhale. As you stand, inhale, inhale, exhale. One thing that is very important that must be pointed out, when you squat down, you have got to bring your tailbone in. That is the only way that you can really bring these down. Also, by doing so, your dantian is relaxed, and this permits it to function correctly. Now you can see how Master Su can generate a punch from the horse stance. First, he needs to bring his tailbone in to allow his kidney to come down. By doing this, his dantian becomes relaxed. Then the qi comes down from the dantian through his arms and fists. The tailbone is the key point which facilitates the move and makes power issuing much easier. Did you know that in martial arts, we view the human body as having 5 bows? There are 2 arms, 2 legs, and your spine. The bow from your body or your spine will be formed only when your tailbone is in and your kidney is dropped. When you squat down into a horse stance, you must bring your tailbone in. If you do this, you will perform the move correctly. Some people worry their kidney is not dropping as they do this exercise. Actually, all you need to worry about is tucking your tailbone in. Let's do the move 3 times. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now, let's do the yang exercise of the kidney. In this movement, you don't have to lift your leg, you simply adjust your 2 arms. Again, Merit will demonstrate first. Please pay attention to the waist turns. See how the kidneys move in relation to each other. When one is up, the other is down. This seesaw motion resembles the pistons of an engine. In the yang exercise, you also bring your tailbone in just as in the yin exercise. Now let's do this together, starting with the left side first. Inhale before you begin with your hands crossed in front of your face. Now, let's do the regulating or balancing of the yin and the yang. Notice that in doing this move, the head remains still and does not move from side to side. Now she will do the yang movement. White crane extends its wings, and the cage moves up and down, which is the balancing movement. The liver is massaged by moving the rib cage and your elbows.
Put the diagram, the liver associated with index fingers.
The finger associated with the liver is the index finger. When you first start the yin movement, open up your rib cage first. Now, as you turn your body and bring your elbows down, rotate your arms on the axis of your index finger and close your rib cage. The liver is associated with the tendon. Some people experience cramps, and this is a problem of tendon. Chinese medicine believes the cause is from the liver. Therefore, doing this yin liver exercise will strengthen your tendons and reduce problems such as cramps. Now we will do the yang movement. Crossing your arms and suddenly dropping your elbows so that you rapidly and forcefully compress your rib cage. Notice that as you drop your elbows, you rotate your arms. What is the significance of rotating your arms? Remember, Master Su mentioned that the liver is associated with the tendons. The twisting movement increases the stretch of the tendons and improves the function of the liver. In other words, liver movements help the tendons and tendon movements help the liver. When you bring your arm down, you compress your rib cage and exhale at the same time. Inhale after that and contract your body more as you do so. Exhale as you stand up and extend your arms.
Right hand goes down, left leg goes back and up.
Now Master Su will demonstrate the balancing of the yin and yang. Please note that this adjustment is also good for your shoulder blades. It increases the influence of your qi in the scapula area. The circulation of the qi is improved. Let's do this movement again, and remember to pay attention to the index fingers and opening and closing of the rib cage. Inhale as you bring your elbow down and turn your waist. Exhale as you stand up and stretch your arms. The head turns and your eyes follow your index finger. When you turn to the left, look left at the left index finger. As you get up, look left at the index finger. Then slowly turn your head to the right and reverse the move looking right. Earlier, Master Su talked about nervous people. One of the noticeable symptoms of nervous people is that they cannot focus properly or concentrate. Their eyes are always wandering and not focusing. Therefore, if you do this Qigong and focus on your index finger with your eyes, your concentration improves. You are more relaxed and you won't become a nervous type of person. That is why Master Su asks you to focus on your index finger. The Yang movement begins as you exhale and go into a horse stance. Make sure you turn your head and look over your shoulder as you do the balancing one. Too rapid heart rate is a second problem, and this is a second type of disease. The Yin Qigong is designed to help improve blood circulation. The Yang exercise is designed to regulate the heartbeat rate. They are different. The hawk pierces the heavens. The fingers of the hand are extended and twisted upwards. Notice that the arm is rotating. Blood is fluid. We are making fluid flow upward as opposed to downward. To do this, we need to create a vortex. This is accomplished by twisting the arm. Your eyes should look at the fingers above your head, especially the middle finger.
Eyes look at the fingers.
Now let's do the great eagle flies in a dive, the Yang movement. Some things about the Yang movement are the same as the Yin. We are still working on the extension of the sternum. The difference is first we are having the palm face upward and the movement is faster and more sudden. Secondly, both feet don't move. They stay in the same position even though you turn your torso. The dragonfly pierces the water is the regulating or balancing exercise. One hand is behind the back of your head and the other is behind your kidney. This exercise balances yin and yang and also allows you to bring blood to the head quickly. This is helpful for people who need to bring more blood to their brain, and also for people whose blood is not absorbing sufficient quantities of oxygen as it passes through the lungs. Merit is going to repeat the yin exercise again. Poor circulation leads to disease. The heart is a pump, and stimulating the heart increases its efficiency as a pump and improves circulation, which has the effect of helping the body ward off disease. This exercise is also helpful in terms of improving the heart's recovery rate. Often when people exercise vigorously, they are out of breath and their heart is beating very rapidly. Doing this exercise will help you to slow your heartbeat rate down to a normal pace in less time, thereby improving what is known as your recovery rate. People who have diabetes have a thicker blood, which results in a slower and more sluggish blood flow. This exercise will help improve the blood flow. High blood pressure, on the other hand, involves a faster than normal rate of blood flow. This exercise will slow the blood down to a normal rate of flow. Let's repeat the yin move one more time. Let's review the yang movement. Start with the left side, weight on the right leg, and turn your left as you raise your right arm, and twist it looking at your middle finger. Looking upward makes it easier to open up the chest. Inhale as you bring your arms up, and exhale as you resume the beginning posture. Now let's do the yang movement. When you do the yang movement, keep your feet stationary. Don't move them off the ground, but stay there. When you turn, twist your arm, but keep your palm up and facing the sky. Raise your head in a very fast manner and separate your two arms forcefully and quickly open up your chest. Now as to breathing. The time to exhale is when you turn and quickly open. As to the regulating part, put your hands behind you. Right hand at the kidney, left hand at the back of your head. Breathe naturally as you stand there. As you lean forward, exhale, and as you come up, inhale. This concludes the heart and fire element. Movement of your diaphragm for massage. The contraction and expansion of the diaphragm moves the stomach and thereby massages it. Marit will now show you the lion plays with the globe and makes it rotate, which is yin part of the exercise. It is easy to see how the diaphragm is moved by this exercise.
This is yin.
Now Marit will do the yang movement, elevating the hooves of the Pegasus. Contraction and expansion of the diaphragm. Look at Marit. When she stands on her toes and brings her hands back, she pushes her stomach out by contracting her diaphragm. When you bring your hands back to their starting position in front of you, the diaphragm relaxes, and this causes the stomach to shrink in and drop down. Now Marit will demonstrate the balancing chi. The rock shakes its wings. Notice that this exercise involves the expansion, contraction, and rotating and twisting of the stomach. If you have a problem bending, spread your legs a little wider, which makes bending easier. Start to rotate your torso and arms in a circular movement, and step first to the left and then to the right. When you begin, you inhale as you complete the circle, and bring the leg in. That is the time to exhale. This yin movement helps improve the ability of the digestive tract to absorb nutrients. The yang movement, when you bring the hand back, be sure you are on your toes, the fingers together and hooked upward. Stick your stomach out and arch your back as much as you can. Let's do this movement a little faster and stronger.
The spinal column pushing the stomach back. So this movement should be much faster.
Now the balancing movement, and Master Su's stomach tells him it's time for lunch. When you are coughing, it is a yin disease, and you need a yang exercise to compensate for the imbalance. When you have asthma, it is considered a yang disease, and you need a yin exercise to balance. There is also a general exercise to balance the yin and the yang at the end of each exercise. Now let's begin the first movement. It is known as white ape offers fruit. Notice as Merit moves down, her scapulas comes forward. As she comes back up, they move backwards.
Enhance the breathing. Our scapula must be stretching forward. By doing this one, you should see. So this movement. She goes up.
Now let's go to the second movement, the Yang exercise. It is known as the iron cow plows the earth. What is the difference between this exercise and the last? The last one opened the scapulas or shoulder blades as you inhaled. This exercise opens the scapulas on the exhale. The first exercise was designed to bring the air deeper into the lungs. This one is designed to quickly expel the air and by so doing cleanse the lungs. So the first exercise enhances the filtering quality of the lung, while the second exercise enhances the expulsive quality. These exercises are useful in dealing with the symptoms associated with yin and yang lung diseases. For instance, asthma is a yin disease. People who suffer from asthma have a lot of mucus in their lungs. They have a difficult time getting this mucus to come out. The yin exercise will loosen up this mucus so that the lung is able to expel it and eventually you will cough it out. The yang exercise is helpful for symptoms of the common cold. When you have a cold, the mucus is not as deep in your lungs. It is more easily expelled. Also, colds and young lung type illnesses are associated with bubbles. Once the bubble is burst, it is easy to expel the mucus and clean the lungs. In the first movement, you need to link your ring fingers together. You then move them in a circle and bring your linked hands in front of your face. Stretch your shoulders forward and bring the chi deeply into your lungs. The breathing is as follows. Inhale as you go down and hold your breath for a moment, and then exhale as you are standing up. This is the yin movement. Now let's do the yang movement. Make a fist, but let your thumb touch your ring fingers on or near the nail. Let the knuckle of the ring finger be slightly elevated above the other knuckles. Inhale, and in the meantime, bring your arms back and emphasize the pulling backwards of your shoulder blades. Step forward into a bow and arrow stance, and quickly exhale as you stretch your scapula forward and punch downward. This concludes the yin and yang exercises.
快一点啊。
Quick exhale.
OK。他们呢，不要想说我这里不能打，不要想这个身体不能打。你想说我这两个肩膀送出去，我说我这个打人，我这手要送出去打，就错了。你这手打的这个肩膀不送出去，这个手没有力量，所以你意志力要在这里提高，要用力气。
Now Master Su will show you the balancing movement called fan right and left. Swing your arms backward and forward, opening and closing, and that will mix your qi nicely within your lungs. In the 5 elements, the lung is symbolically understood to represent metal. People may wonder whether they are doing the exercise correctly or not. You will find this out by feeling that your breathing has improved and your lung capacity is greater. You may notice more mucus comes out from your lungs. All of this indicates that the qi is helping to improve lung function. Be sure to spit this mucus out. In the martial arts, qi-gong movements often imitate animals. We call the lung exercise monkey movements. Do you know that monkeys never cough? Once a monkey coughs, he will die right away. Among animals, monkeys' lungs tend to be one of the healthiest. Why is this? Just look at the monkey and you will see the answer. They constantly move their scapulas, and this means that they are constantly massaging their lungs. Humans, on the other hand, do not move their scapula much, and this is why all of the lung-associated diseases happens with man.